words, and it begins as follows. Jesus was a son, so it was thought, of Joseph, the son of Heli. Now, the most common response to this is to say that the genealogy in Luke was for Mary, but that's not what the text says. It says that it's for Joseph. So was Joseph's father Jacob or Heli? Nope.
The weirdos are popping up. Hey, don't you see we talking about religion back there? Let me see you shake around. Let me see you shake it around. You got to stand up and shake it. Somebody's acting crazy on this thing right now. All right, listen, don't get banned from the studio, man.
Number 9 is, what did these women actually do at the tomb? So there are some women that discovered the empty tomb of Jesus, and they returned to tell others. This is recorded in the book of Matthew 28, verses 8, and it says, the women hurried away from the tomb, afraid, yet filled with joy, and ran to tell his. But Mark's account has a
different. Listen, this ain't the day for trolling, man.
It says trembling and.
Let the brother do his class. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the day for trolling. We can troll later on tonight after he's done.
Older, the women went out and fled from the tomb. They said nothing to anyone because they were afraid. That's found in Mark 16, verses 8. That's actually how the original version of the Gospel of Mark ended that verse.
Yeah, I'm talking to somebody in the backstage, Merc. Because I like they troll. I like they troll, but they got come on, nah, not on this channel, not right now. Not right now. Later on, I'm gonna block you next time. I don't want to block you because I want people to see this shit. Hold on. See why nobody go outside? Now I like the way they do it, what they do because y'all gonna bug out when y'all see it. But right now is not the time.
Later on, an addition was made that extends the verse, and it made the verse fall more in line with the accounts of Matthew and Luke. So depending on the Bible, it may read a little bit differently. All right, moving on to number 8. No one can see God. Yeah, that's mentioned in 1 John 4, verses 12. No one has ever seen God. And also, 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 16 says, no man has seen.
Now, for people that's in the chat, who has been known to see God? I think you mute. Let the man go ahead, because there's a lot going on. Who's known to see God? Get in the chat and tell us who's one person that was known to see God. Gemstone salute. This Islam class today. So Islam, if you want to let me know when you want me to start letting people up and stuff like that. If they want to act, but you muted right now.
Do me one favor. If you could put it up on your screen, find in the Bible the story of Lot. I'm going to finish reading it from the Quran, and then I want you to put it up here where everybody could read it. Can you do
all
that?
Right. The biblical version
the biblical version of Lot and his daughters. Yes, I'm going to finish reading this from the Quran so people can see the difference in the story.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. And we said Lot, when he said to his people, do not commit any such indecency as has never been in all the world has been committed before you. You indeed approach men lustfully instead of women. Indeed, you are a people who are transgressors. And the only answer his people gave was that they said, expel them from your town. Surely they are a people who want to be pure. So we rescued him and his family, except for his wife. She was of those who were destroyed, and the rain came upon them, and it was the end of the sinners. Okay, that's the story of Lot, according to Quran.
So tell the people what's the gist of it. For the people
okay, the gist of it, well, I need to see the biblical story of Lot so I can make a compare. Okay, where is the story of his what's I got the verse for you, brother. I'm sorry. I got the verse for you.
I'm Jewish. Don't forget to like the video on your way in, folks. Thank you. This
Okay.
now this
Genesis. Yeah, brother. The chapter is Genesis 19, 1 to 38. And I can read it if you put it up here for me. Genesis 19, 1 to 38. Okay, so I read you the story of Lot. So it's a good, clean, wholesome story you can read to a child.
1930 to 38.
Of Genesis 19, 1 to 38. 1 to 38. Can you read it? Can you read it for me?
Yeah. It says the two angels came to Sodom in the evening, and Lot, let me do it like the Israelites. And Lot was sitting in the gate of Sodom. Let me do that.
No. Skip all that. Skip all that. Come down a little bit. Hold on. Let me see what come down to like 10 or 15. See what that says. I'm just trying to get you to the part where
they struck the blindness who were at the entrance. Folks were great. They wore themselves out groping for the door. Then the men said to Lot, have you anyone else here? Sons-in-law, sons, daughters, or anyone you have in the city, bring them out of the place. For we are about to destroy this place, because the outcry against his people has become great before the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it. So Lot went out and said to his son, did you talk about this? You want me to read from it?
No, that's too much. I'm trying to find the verse. It might be 17. It might be almost 20.
What part exactly?
I'm trying to find where it says where his daughters seduced him. Okay, right here. Should be right here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, here it is. Read from 30 to 35. If you want me to, I read it for you. I read it. Want me to say it? Want me to read it?
I got you. Now Lot went up out of Zor and lived in the hills with his two daughters, for he was afraid to live in Zor. So he lived in the cave with his two daughters. Wait a minute. Oh, he went out of Zor and went into the hills. Okay, to the caves. And the firstborn said to the younger, our father is old, and there is not a man on earth to come into us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve offspring from our father. Oh shit. All right. So they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went and lay with the father. He did not know when she lay down or when she arose. The next day, the firstborn said to the younger, behold, I lay last night with my father. Let us make him drink wine tonight also. Then you go in and lie with him, and we may preserve our offspring from our father. So they made their father drink that night. Also, the younger arose and lay with him, and he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. Thus, both the daughters of Lot became pregnant by their father.
Okay. Now, that's enough.
Damn, I didn't even know all that.
That's enough. Okay, now we're going to see Lot was a prophet. Not only did he didn't know, because they got him drunk, that he had sex with his two daughters, but they also got pregnant. Now remember, Aki, Lot,
Now remind them of the story of the Quran. So just in case people.
yeah, well, I read it to them. There was no mention of incest. The thing that what I'm trying to make understood is that Lot was Abraham's nephew. And Abraham had plenty of sons. So why would Lot's daughters need to lay with their father when they had cousins? Okay, that the Quran corrects this story. Okay, the Quran corrects this story. The Bible makes Lot look like an incest old drunken man and his two daughters, but the Quran fixes it. Okay, now Aki, I'm gonna go a little bit soft. I ain't gonna go too hard. I want you to pull up Ezekiel 23. This is to prove that the language of the Quran is different from the language of the Bible. Ezekiel 23, or what they call it, the RSV version.
Can I say something? Hey, listen, this is not no attack on the Bible, my dude.
That's right, it's that.
This is not no attack on the Bible. This is just simply, first and foremost, right? Bro said, all jokes aside, religion is not a good topic, especially if you're not 100% into your own religion. Wow, that's crazy. Show me one person known in history that was 100%. We only know one person. That's the Prophet Muhammad. We don't know nobody else. We know so many different stories. Why can't we just have a discussion? Would you rather us talk about dissing niggas and dogging people and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Like that link that I got up there, that link is pinned for a reason. That means that anybody could come up here and speak about this. You feel me? Now, when the brothers over there, Sinetta or one of them channels, you know what I'm saying? That's what he do. It's not my particular topic neither. We're not talking about religion right now. We're talking about history.
And we're talking about books, 2 different books.
That's it.
Everybody, because a lot of Christian apologists, they come out with these books about Islam, and the only thing we could do is just show back before you start talking about us. Check your own self before you wreck yourself. So I'd like to read Ezekiel 23, brother, and I want to make a hypothetical. Situation between me and you. Okay? Right. It's going to be a hypothetical situation between me and you. Okay? Right? You blow that up? Yeah. Okay? All right. This is the hypothetical situation. Okay, Aki? Say, you my father. You my father. Okay? And every day you read a verse of the Bible to me. I'm your daughter. See, I'm your like 8, 9-year-old daughter, and you're my father. And every day you read a verse of the Bible to me. Okay, it just so happens today we're on Ezekiel 23. All right, Papa, read it to me.
All right. The word of the Lord came to me, son of man. There were 2 women, daughters of the same mother, who became prostitutes.
Hey, Daddy, what's a prostitute?
What's a prostitute? Oh, well, a prostitute. A prostitute ain't nothing but a hoe.
Okay. I didn't know that, Daddy.
No, now you know. You know
okay, Papa, go ahead and finish reading the story. Sounded interesting.
Trying to hoe up till she blow up. Okay, they became prostitutes in Egypt, right? Engaging in prostitution from their youth. And that land, their breasts were fondled and their virgin bosoms caressed.
What's that, Daddy? What is that?
Tits and ass.
Man, Daddy, you raw.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, come on, go ahead.
So a massive marauder, all religion and scams. That's a whole nother class. That's a whole nother. And you know something? Listen, just in case y'all don't know, if the brother will have you pull up, you can pull up. But we're not here to direct. See, the thing is that talk by itself shouldn't invoke emotions in you unless you know something different. So they became they got their breasts were fondled and their virgin bosoms caressed. The older name was Ahola, Ahola, and her sister was Aholabah. They were mine, and they gave birth to sons and daughters. Ahola is Samaria, and Aholabah is Jerusalem.
I skip the go. I let you skip to 20. Go to 20. You got 5, 6, 7. Go to 20. And you'll have to do all that reading.
There she lusted after her lovers, whose genitals were like those of donkeys, and whose emission was like that of horses. So the niggas ski, busting all in the club. So damn, this is the Bible. The Bible.
Okay, now the question to me, the question I have is: does God talk like this to us? So make it words.
All right, so basically, said they had dicks like donkeys. You know what I'm saying, and they were shooting to the top of the ceiling.
Does God need to talk to us like that? Is those God's word? That sounds like Trick Daddy let them hoes. That's what that sounds like to me.
Trick don't love them hoes.
Word. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay. Like I said, I'm treading lightly.
Let me say something, man. This is not a good topic. Respectfully, just go somewhere else. I'm just letting y'all know, man. You know what I mean? I'm not telling y'all to sit here and watch this. I'm not telling y'all to sit here. You're on mute, Aki.
Okay.
Nah. I'm just telling you that you're not here to disturb this content. Nothing. What I'm going to do, okay, listen, if you don't have something to add on and you don't hit the link, I'm going to just block your ass. That's it. You feel me? This ain't even about me. I didn't even want my voice to be heard. I'm just helping the brother out present his class. That's it. You got something to talk about? You got a great idea? Holla at me. You know what I'm saying? But all that shit, yo, shoot anything that I don't like. If y'all don't like it, I don't like it. Shoot it. That's it. We're not here for debate in the chat. You want to get up on the panel, hit the link. Hit the link. Otherwise, that's it. What we're going to get is going to get dark for you. I'm going to argue with you in the chat. I'm not going to entertain nothing in the chat. I don't give a fuck how much legit you think it is in your mind. You know what I mean? We're not going to entertain it. If it's that important, hit the chat. Otherwise, don't tell me, Kenny, I heard what you said as far as like, do we think that Islam is okay, you know, like for peace or something like that? I don't, you know, brother Kenny, the link is open for you too, brother. You know what I'm saying? This ain't about us bashing the Bible. All right, we can go anywhere with this subject. I'm gonna get the floor back to my brother. You on mute?
Is the title? This is the title. The Quran versus the Bible.
Now,
what
you just said on the title it also says it's Bible X-rated. I'm gonna
absolutely.
Yet she became more and more promiscuous as she recalled the days of her youth when she was a hoe and prostitute in Egypt. She lusted after her lovers. She wanted. She wasn't just on the tape to make money. She wanted donkey dick. You know what I'm saying, with emissions like horse. So they go.
Okay. Daddy, you got a dirty mouth. You got a dirty mouth. I'm telling mama on you, boy.
Somebody just pulled up. I guess they got a question. Do you want me to let them up so they can ask?
Absolutely.
Peace.
Someone that gonna peace.
Mash.
How you doing, brother?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Salute.
All right, you can hear me?
I hear you.
We hear you, bro.
I'm okay. I just want to say peace and blessings to everybody.
Peace.
All right, the question that it was not really a question. It was a statement you gave. That is, does God have to talk to us like that?
Absolutely.
Like that.
Well, according, I've asked a lot of Christian evangelists about it, and what they say to me is that God just keeping it real. I said, what I'm gonna do? God be keeping it real.
Who said that, Aki?
The Christians tell me that. The same question. I said, do God need to tell us about donkey genitals and horse emissions, ski? And it'd be like, God just keeping it real. Keep it real, son.
Go ahead, Mass. I want you to finish your what you were saying.
Y'all still hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, brother.
Yeah, look. It's just like you just taking little bits and pieces and wanna play with it. He's giving you a certain. He's using certain words like that so that he doesn't have to say what MacMean said. He ain't gonna say donkey dick. He ain't gonna say skeet to the top of this building.
I mean, but
God is not gonna say stuff like that.
Yeah, but is all that description? Is all that description necessary?
In your mind, so you know exactly what he's talking about.
Well, listen, but I think what the brother is saying isn't necessary. We're not saying, and I do believe what brother said, even though I laughed about the Christian evangelist said that God's just keeping it real. Yeah. I believe that because in Islam, what we have is we have a story about one of the prophets going up to visit a Lord in a dream, and you know what I'm saying. Now we know as Muslims who that prophet was, but I'm gonna just in order to keep the example pure, I'm not gonna give it a name. I'm not gonna tell you who did it, and they was ordained to do a certain amount of prayers. I'm talking about like 50. And that prophet went back up to God after some prophets on his way down was like, yeah, I mean, like the people are not going to be able to do that many prayers. You feel me? So I feel like that was an example in the Quran of God.
Brother Mask.
Yeah.
I just read you one story.
Hello?
The one about Lot. About Lot and his daughters. That's one story.
Can't hear y'all no more.
He said he said that you basically he said he only read one story. He's not really.
I read you one story a lot. Okay, that was incest. Okay, that was the story of Lot and his two daughters. Now I read you the story of the two sisters. Okay. Now I'm the point I'm trying to get to is that if I could give more, I'm not just pick out of the Bible bits and pieces. I can give you more evidence. But the title of the talk was, is the Bible X-rated? Okay. God could give us a better thing. God could paint us a nice picture without all the graphic depictions of deviant sexual behavior.
Now we also
that wasn't X-rated. That was PG-13.
But hold up, but
we made it X-rated in our heads.
No, Mass. Listen to this, right? Also, part of the title is the differences in these same stories, because we do have the story of Joseph. You know what I mean? We have a lot of the same stories. So he's just telling you, he showed you what the Quran says about that same story, and he shows you the exact same story in the Bible, and that's just one story so far. So you gotta be patient. This is not an attack on the Bible, and this is not a cause or reason to fight or argue. This is just okay. Why? At least why was it said that way? And what he said was, according to the Christian evangelist, he said that God was just keeping it real. What will be your explanation? Well, how do you interpret that right there? Outside of you saying that we're saying that it's sexual, we're not really saying that. We're just saying that there could have been a better way of describing it. Why wasn't it described differently?
I mean, word language
in the way that everybody knows now, like donkeys in the emission.
Okay. Now, another question. If you have a 9-year-old daughter, can you sit down and read that story to her and explain what's going on? You gotta do you gotta rape. You can't say that the Bible is.
We have 9-year-olds out here that's doing drugs and out there hoeing.
We're not talking about them. That's because they don't got no parents. If you got parents that's concerned, you got fathers, you got mothers that want to teach their children morals and standards and how to live a better life.
You just said if I could read it to my daughter.
I said,
I would read it to my daughter because I see what's going on with kids.
I couldn't do it. Me myself, I couldn't do it. I got daughters 38 years old, and I can't read it to them.
Can you keep it that real with your daughter, and you can say,
you know what I'm saying?
Read this and say, yeah, she became more and more promiscuous. What's promiscuous? Well, she wanted to have
when they go outside,
right? And look,
I mean, you know, we Muslims, we try to have morals. It's the time to learn things and the time not to learn things.
Yeah, you gotta tell it to them.
You know, you can't. You gotta go first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. You can't be kindergarten knowing shit college kids know.
They are teaching LGBT and transsexuality to kids in kindergarten.
My brother, they are, not me, not people that I be with. They are. If you're part of the society, it could affect you. But we ain't part of that.
Then that's why I need to teach my daughter what to look out for.
Well, I mean, you don't need to teach her like that. You don't have to teach her like that. You can protect her from that. You protect her from that. You don't teach her that because certain things kids don't need to know.
Oh my God.
You can't. Can you teach her?
And yo, MACMEAN, let me steal this from you. MACMEAN, let me steal this from you. Doesn't matter.
Go ahead, brother.
Does it matter if I say 2 + 2 is 4, or if I say 2 + 2 is fucking 4?
I mean, that's okay. A bad word is a bad word. But when you start painting pictures of deviant sexual behavior, that's like what you said when they're teaching the kids LGBTQ in first grade and kindergarten. There's a problem with that. There's a problem with that. That's not okay. That's not okay, kid. I mean, it's happening. I understand that. That's keeping it real.
What's not okay? What's not okay?
It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay to have a kindergarten teacher.
Get a rod and spoil a child, you heard?
Of course, you got to teach your children, son. You got to teach your children, but some things they don't need to know until they get to a certain age. Let a child enjoy being a child. Children don't need to have a mind of an adult. Let them enjoy being children.
Nothing. When they get to that age, they'll be well equipped to handle any situation that comes around. You're not always going to be there. We're not always going to be there.
You're going to desensitize them. You know, you got to teach them to stay away from that. Okay, I got some more examples. So I mean, if you think that's the word of God, teaching people to
awaken, how am I teach them to stay away from it if I can't tell them what it is?
Brother, children learn when they get to a certain age. You can't teach children everything. You can't, brother, please. You can't. I mean, how many children you got? How many children
every day?
How many children you got, brother? I ain't no crazy nigga, bro. I got 9 children. I got 9 children. I got 9 children and I got 9 grandchildren, brother. Okay, and I protect my children and I try to keep them as far away from the deviants as I can.
Hold up for 1 second. I just came back. I just went to the kitchen for a second. NSA, flash your camera. Let me see who you are. And thank you, Max, for pulling up too.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. I hope I you learned something.
NSA, show your camera. Show your camera.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, y'all? We're gonna have a quick intermission real quick. You understand? We're gonna get into it real quick. This is your boy, great grandson of We Rebuilding We, and we gonna keep it gangster. dedicated to the. We're gonna bring that back real quick. Great grandson, let's go. Some people will never be true. Dedicated to the jungle as a lion, I'ma eat flipping bundles for the food. I stay humble until you cross the line, like conversating with me. Bunch of friends of one time, and stay true to the game. Cause they are my true friends, and you can't change me from the man I am. I hustle hard from the AM to the PM. I need a big house, big yard, and a 2 BMs. And I ain't talking about baby mamas, I'm talking about wood grain, hit the lane for the haters, keep the llama. 7.62s off the shelf. It's demon outside, living in hell. It's demon outside, living in hell. Where we dwell. Stay dangerous when you step up those doors. It's crazy, my G. It's too hard. Make sure you protect your neck. Hey, have that thing on deck. Than I ever been before. I'm more focused than I ever been before. Get mine, homie. Go out and get yours. I'm more focused than I ever been before. Get mine, homie. Go out and get yours. I'm more focused than I ever been before. Get mine, homie, go out and get yours. I'm more focused than I ever been before. Get mine, homie, go out and get yours. The time is now, homie. Never walk with the blind and the phony. Separate the real from fake. Do your dirt while you're lonely. But always keep a bunch of walls. I stay hungry, no lie. Focus like me. Major Mr. G, major work, major recruits. Putting that work, they ready to eat. We're going to get right back into it, my brother MACME. Let's go, y'all.
To mean the same thing, but be like talking over somebody's head. This is down to earth. This is keeping it real. Telling me. I need you to pull up Deuteronomy 25, verse 11, please, my brother. Brother NSA, your mic is muted.
Oh yeah, because I was letting you talk. I didn't want to.
I'm sorry.
I didn't want to intervene while you was talking. I was just listening.
Sorry. Yeah, I brother Mac.
What's the verse?
Deuteronomy 25, verse 11. Let's have some fun.
Uh-oh.
Why you laughing, man? Why is you laughing?
You dirty. Can't make this shit up, though.
No, you can't. All right. You get the nicest one. You get the nicest one because some translations,
yeah,
they're a little more grainy than that. Okay, there it goes.
If two men are fighting and the wife of one of them comes to rescue her husband from his assailant, and she reaches out and seizes him by his private parts, you shall cut off her hand. Show her no pity.
Okay, let's break it down. So if I'm fighting somebody, I'm fighting somebody.
Yo, that was crazy right there. I ain't gonna front. That was crazy. Let's proceed.
And my wife come out the house and grab him by the testicles.
Yeah.
To help me. You know what I'm saying? To help me out. Hey, Poppy, I got him. After that, I got to cut her hands off.
Remember, we read this to the kids, but in another translation, it does say, when men strive together with one another, and the wife of one draweth near to.
Hey,
Okay.
that's a nice one too.
It's a nice one.
That's a nice
right?
one too.
When
There's actually one that says testicles.
grab him by the testicles.
There's actually one translation that says that. Matter of fact,
That sounds like some Trump shit.
well, I'm just saying, this is the difference between the Quran and the Bible. Quran got no foolishness. This is foolishness. This is very foolish.
Well, you can't
foolishness
because then you're gonna get 10,000
go
made on you.
Go to the New Living Translation on 25:11.
I was gonna say also some of these things are cultural, right? Like I'm from Haiti, and in Haiti, and you get your hands cut off if you steal somebody food or something simple like that. Some of these things are, I think, in the Middle East, it's still like that, where it's just traditional, where that's the culture that you don't steal from your neighbor or whatever, or that's the consequence you might pay for it.
I know a lot of Muslims in Haiti. I have some good family friends in Haiti. They're Muslim people, and they're just trying to get started to teach the people a different way than was Christianity, because Christianity wasn't working. Christianity been in America for about 400 or 500 years, and they can't even take care of the racial problem. So this is why I'm here to try to bring people to Islam, to give Islam a chance to see if it can help with the social ills in society. This is why I come out here, because I want people to consider Islam, to read Quran, to try to study Quran. Even though Quran is a little bit hard to learn, but I'm not just going to tell you to do it. I will have classes to try to help people to understand and read Quran. That's why I'm here. I'm not here for clout. I'm not here for money. I'm here for my religion, because we have to stand up, and we know inside of us that we're the only cure. We know that. We know that. I dedicate this program that I'm doing to all the Muslim brothers that I've ever met in jail, or the ones that became Muslim in prison, that even though they may not be practicing today outside the walls, but to know that, remember that when they were locked up, Allah gave them guidance, Allah gave them brotherhood, and Allah gave them protection, or Allah gave them a sense of forgiveness. This is why I do this. You know what I'm saying? So if there's any Muslims out there that were in prison, that fell off, backslided, and to know that there's always still hope, and we can always still come together and read Quran on a platform and learn to build together to try to help society. Because brother, let me tell you something. People get killing every day, and they don't even know why they're getting killed. And people are killing, and they don't know why they're killing. You got kids coming to school with guns. You got teachers coming to school, men teachers coming to school with dresses. You got children starving to death in the world. Nobody gives a shit about. You got orphans. So it's a lot of things that's going on in the world that nobody even addresses. Like I said, looking for clout. I'm looking to try to spread my Islam and to try to help, because we're living in a real tough time, very tough time, and people need that. How you say, if your phone got no battery, the battery is dead. You ain't gotta make no phone call. Just like your soul, if you ain't got no battery for your soul, you like a zombie. You dead. You're walking, but you're dead in spirit. So that's why I do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing this and I'm not bashing Christianity, but Christianity's been here 500 years, and they can't even solve the racial problem. Okay, in Islam, we got Chinese Muslims, black Muslims, white Muslims, yellow, red, green. We got all kind of colors in Islam, and that's the only way to defeat the evil, is through everybody, not the white black man, the white man, the devil, black man, this is that. That's not the way you're going to win, because you're not going to win racially divided. You're going to win like that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. Sorry, go ahead. Got off topic there for a second.
Let me see if I can ask you this question, right? In Islam, Allah is God, right? Can you give me a description, or like, is Allah a person that has superpower? What is Allah exactly? What is God to you in Islam?
God to me is the creator, the one that created Adam.
Sorry, sorry, I incorrectly said that. I mean, not according to you, just according to Islam itself, not you or anybody else. Like Islam itself, what is God? What does Islam say about God?
God in Islam is the creator of Adam, Noah, Jesus, Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, Noah, Moses, Muhammad. They came, these were prophets. This is why I'm doing this, because the prophets came and they were righteous men, not murderers, not sinners, like the Bible says about them. You know, so we believe in Islam, we believe in the supreme being that created everything. Like the Jews or the Christians. But the only thing about the Christians is that they have a triune God. They have Father, Son, Holy Ghost. But we only have one God, and he's unseen.
So each religion have their own version of what God is, right?
Absolutely.
I want to be correct. What the description of the God they're talking about is completely different. That's not even what I wanted to touch on. I wanted to ask you personally, right? As a person, I understand, me personally, I look at it like you trying to do the right thing. You came across some information, you come across something that is very, you know, that seems like it cure the world, could help a lot of people. So you're trying to help. Now,
This is Channel of We Rebuilding We, another production by Roadblock Prod MM of GGCTV.
now, whether they lie
If I've been lied to,
40 years old, 30 years old, thousands of years ago.
This is easy. You have to look at the people. Look at the people. Look at the kind of things that the people do. If you look at the fruit of the people, then you see what is it that they believe. You know, even Jesus Christ himself, he said, "You shall know them by the fruits that they bear. An evil tree will bear evil fruit. A good tree will bear bad fruit, or good fruit." Okay? And even though people could talk about Muslims and Islam, okay, they talk about us, we have our shortcomings, like anybody else has shortcomings. But if you look at the community of Muslims itself, we're the best ones in the creation. That's how you look at the people.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, but that's not my question. That's not the question, though. The question is, what would be the best evidence to convince you? Let's say these things was a fairy tale. Let's say for just a second, you find these things weren't true. They were made up by men to like men, to control men. Let's say I'm asking you, though. Remember, the question is, what's the best evidence could somebody present to you personally that would make you understand that, oh, I was being lied to, or these things was false? What kind of evidence could be presented to you
you would have to understand, read Quran, and show me mistakes in it. That's what you would have to do. You would have to show me.
Yeah, but
because the Quran itself is a miracle. It has stories and it has scientific formulas. It has mathematics. It has sonic boom. It has.
I guarantee you, the Quran has zero sign in it. Yeah, that I can guarantee you. Here's the one. No. This is a question, right? If it has science in it, no, I'm about to guarantee you. This is the guarantee. If the Quran has any science in it, give me the dependent and independent variable for that science. The hypothesis. Give me the hypothesis that it presents.
Okay, I'll give you an example. How that's science?
No, that's not science. Example is not science. Science is observing natural phenomenon, forming a hypothesis where you have your independent variable.
Let me give you a chemistry lesson. A lesson on chemistry. Quran has 114 chapters. 114 chapters. If you cut the Quran in half, that'll make it 57. 57 is the middle of the Quran. The chapter name in 57 is called iron. Iron on the element scale has an atomic weight of 57. Okay? And also, the Quran proves that iron is not natural to America, to the world. Iron comes from space. Quran says, and 1,400 years ago.
None of that is science. You understand that, right? None of what you're saying is science.
Well, if you don't look for it, you won't see it.
No, but you got to understand, science is simply this. You can look at it in the dictionary real quick. You can look at it, right? Science is observing natural phenomena.
You're jumping me off the subject. MACMEAN, please. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Peace upon you. MACMEAN.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'll be in this brother's finish. Thank you,
right,
brother.
Hey, good building with you, brother. I think that conversation will be a good time. Like, but when we all have an open panel, or open discussion, or open debate, I think that we going a little bit left. But we do appreciate you. And they say, and you're always welcome up here. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like, and for the people that's going to watch later, that's going to look at the title, they're not going to want to see two brothers debating in the middle of trying to get to a point. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not here to debate with nobody. I made my point. That was it. If you don't want to hear it, and keep going and keep going and keep going. And that's either atheist or scientific. It don't matter. I gave him scientific proof. The only way, if you want to find it, go look at it. Don't say about the Quran something you never read it. See, people do that. The Quran, it's like you go to school and just want you to read this book. Okay, you don't even read the book. So how you do the book report? You didn't read the book. If you're gonna talk about Quran, read it. Okay, we gotta let's keep moving, man. Okay, Ezekiel 16:17.
Ezekiel
16 verse 17.
Okay.
See what you have people getting into the racial thing, even though we live in a racially toxic world. We know we do. But when we dwell,
I know that I got to face it for the things I've done.
dwell on that, we miss the big picture. We miss the picture. Okay, there it is right there.
All right.
Okay, this one here is a little bit off the hook, so I'm gonna let you break it down.
Well, I'm gonna read it the way it says. You took some of your garments and made for yourself colorful shrines, and on them played the whore. The like has never been, nor shall be, nor ever shall be. You also took your beautiful jewels of my gold and of my silver, which I had given you, and made for yourself images of men, and with them played the whore.
Okay. Now, that doesn't sound too nice. That doesn't sound too nice, but the point I'm making is the Quran is completely different. That's the difference. That's the difference between the Quran and the Bible. The Quran doesn't have all this, all this language. What I call it, graphic depictions of deviant sexual behavior. Why can't you keep it simple? You know damn well you can't children everything. You can't teach a 3-year-old certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because you're taking away the childhood. When children know this kind of thing, yeah, we probably live in a world nasty like that. We do live in a world nasty like that. But that doesn't mean everybody has to submit to it. We don't submit to it.
I know that I got to face it for the things I've done.
This is Channel of WeRebuildingWe, another production by Roadblock Prod MM of GGCTV.